Hello everybody, it's Serafina and I'm here with your daily tarot insight. So before we begin, I would like to call upon the spirit of the universe that loves us unconditionally. I would like to call upon the spirits of this land, of this island, and of this ocean, and I thank them for holding the space and for their ancient wisdom. And I would like to call upon my guides, my ancestors, archangels, and my higher self, and I thank them for their presence and guidance with this reading. Okay, so beloved spirit of the universe, what loving guidance is there for the collective today? What loving guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have two cards. I usually don't include them. Only if there's one jumping card, I'll include it. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Devil. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Moon. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have the Empress. I want to pick one more. We have the Page of Swords. Okay, to complement, let's choose one of these angel cards. What further guidance is there for the collective today? We have Archangel Muriel. Trust your own wisdom. Have faith in your psychic impressions. Okay, and let's choose one of these. What further guidance is there? We have Play with two dolphins. Okay, so we're starting off with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the only knight that we see in the tarot that's not actually moving. The other three, the horse is already charging towards something or they're moving. So this can indicate like a little bit of stagnancy or just the need for patience. As you can see, there's like a field here and he's already planted the seeds, but they're not growing yet. So this card comes to tell us that good things take time, that we should continue to move towards things that we are working on, even if we're not seeing the fruits of our labor. Then we have the Devil. The Devil comes up when we are usually entangled into things. It's kind of like karmic knots or entanglements that we're having with the material realm. So it could represent anything related to habits, addictions, or even like mental thought processes that can be damaging towards us. So the feeling that one gets with the Devil is that we're trapped, right? It's kind of like we're trapped in a vicious cycle of something that we've been wanting to break loose from. And it can even cause like a little bit of like mental havoc inside of us. But you know, if you look at the Lovers card, you have two people similar to this one. But here they are chained. The funny thing is that the chains are easily being able, you could take them off very easily. So it's kind of indicative that whatever it is that we're going through, whether it's an addictive pattern regarding to substances or thought processes or relationships, like the key is in your hand, right? The word that's coming up for me is codependency right now. We can be codependent not only in our relationships with family and friends and romance, but we can also be codependent with food, for example, or substances. Then we have the Moon. The Moon is usually a card of subconscious fears of things that are not seen clearly, right? We have the two temples here, and then we have the Moon, and there's this little lobster here or something represents kind of like those thoughts that you don't want to that crawl up from your subconscious mind up to the conscious mind, right? So already these two cards tell me that we're kind of dealing with subconscious patterns, with things that we've been trapped in for some time. The Empress is the card of nurturing. It's the card of fertility, right? And also it has a lot to do with motherly aspects, right? Our ability to nurture ourselves, our ability to nurture other people. And then we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords usually comes to communicate something. So what am I seeing in general? I'm seeing that we have been maybe working on something. We've been working on something and we're still not seeing the fruits of our labor. And that means that at times we could be getting impatient and we've been kind of like reverting to old behavioral patterns or coping mechanisms in order to deal with it. But what is needed is to address the root causes of these coping mechanisms. Like if we're trying to deal with our coping mechanisms at a superficial level, we're just going to keep on repeating them or replace them with other things. So what this card of the Moon is telling me is that we really need to go in and be able to assess the root causes of why we're having these repetitive patterns happening to us. And usually it is regarding two aspects of nurturing. Who is the first person that usually nurtures us? It's our mother, right? So a lot of our behaviors and the way we relate to other people, to ourselves, to pleasure in general, has to do with the way that we were brought up and our relationship with our mother. And so I feel that there's a call towards that. And how could you mother yourself? How could you provide for yourself all the things that maybe you feel that you didn't receive when you were a child? And the Page of Swords can come with a message. I feel like some of us are going to be getting some sort of communication today, but it can also relate to learning new skills. And so I find it amazing how many podcasts and videos there are on YouTube for us to inform ourselves and to receive lots of guidance from various doctors online or psychologists. And so I feel that there's a call to be able to learn something new. Or I'm even receiving the word therapy, like being able to go to therapy or, you know, and relying on other sources outside of ourselves to be able to deal with whatever it is that's coming up for us. I'm going to read from the card of Archangel Muriel. This card suggests that you have emotional sensitivity and faith in your intuition. If you are sad or grieving, have compassion for yourself and treat yourself gently and with respect. However, if it is time to move on, remember that your emotions are powerful. Don't let them hold you back. Rather, let them propel you forward into the new. Ask for the help you need and trust that when you feel a pull of a certain direction or enthusiastic about something, this is angelic guidance drawing you onto the pathway that is right for you. As soon as you feel ready, gather your strength, follow your gut reactions, and do what you need to do. Then a door to happiness will open. So it's telling us that some of us are going through sadness or grieving right now. And I feel that we've been going through it for a while and that we've been doing our best. We've been doing our best to kind of like get through it, but we're not seeing the fruits of our labor yet. So we're getting impatient. We're reverting back to old coping mechanisms and, you know, allowing the grief to take its place. But we do have to address the root causes of things, being able to nurture ourselves and to continue with strength and with knowledge to be able to educate ourselves. And you know, this card also says, have faith in your psychic impressions. So being able to tune into those gut feelings that I was talking about yesterday and those first intuitive hits that we receive. Yeah, being able to balance it with the rational mind, but also trusting why they come. Sometimes you don't need a rational explanation for things. And then we have the card of play. So how can we kind of like mix things up and help transmute this heavy devil and moon energy? Obviously by nurturing ourselves, but also by play. So what is it that you can do every single day or once a week that will help bring more play into your life? Ask your inner child, like, what would you like today? Would you like to paint? Would you like to go out and play basketball? Whatever, right? So yeah, I feel that that's a general message for today. It's just one of being able to get out of these loops through different methods, by recognizing your sensitivity, by nurturing yourself and maybe contemplating your relationship with your mother and how that's played out in your lifetime, but also by play. So a lot of inner child, I feel. Okay, to finish off, let's pick a card from this archetype deck. dear beloved spirit of the universe, what final message is there for the collective today? We have the comic. It's a funny card. Let's see what it says. The Joker, the Clown, the Fool. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. As humor requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as a material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. They literally lighten us up. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician, working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. So, it's interesting that we got the card of the comic and the card of play to counteract these darker realms that we're dealing with today with the devil and the moon. So I feel the message is pretty clear. There's a way out for whatever mental obstacle or loop that you've been going through for some time now, I find. Is bringing in more levity into your life and being able to have more of a higher perspective to what you're going through and just see it part of like the human play, the human drama that's playing out, you know? Your soul chose to incarnate into this. And yes, at times it can be really, really heavy, but at the end of the day, being able to have some laughter towards what's happening to you is the best medicine. And I also feel like calling back to developing like that inner temple that we have within. And so it's like being able to find that fine line between what's sacred in our life and being able to laugh at ourselves and to find the humor in life. Okay, everybody, I hope that this was useful to you. If it was, I would encourage you to share it with your friends. You never know if there's a message here for somebody. If you like or comment on the videos, it'll help me as well. And if you're interested in a personal reading, you can always visit my personal website and we can find a time for you. Okay, everybody. Bye.